which can sometimes number up to 1,000 individuals. These are one of the only animals that'll go back and care for the sick and injured members of their herd. So if one of them, including one of the calves, got attacked by a lion, a crocodile, anything else, the entire herd comes to the rescue. That is really cool to see. If you're interested, there is a video called Battle at Kruger. You can find that on YouTube. Really cool to watch that. Lots of interesting animals out here. Plenty of different species. There's so much to learn about. We've come across animals here that are endangered. We have also some rare species, like the ones on the right-hand side. Those are Somali wild ass, critically endangered, just a few hundred of them left. And, ooh, look at this. That was a surprise. Look on the left-hand side, there's Eric. I think he was resting in the shade right by the wall. We pulled up, he decided to take a stroll. He's actually closer in relation to the animals on the right than anything else out here. A rhino's closest relative is a horse. Rhinos and horses are both odd-toed ungulates. Ungulates is a fancy word for a hoofed animal. Rhinos have 3 toes. You never know when you're going to find yourself at trivia. Horses, of course, have just the 1 hoof. Rhinos and horses. Now, Eric, I don't know if I said, he's an East African black rhino. And right now he's listening in on our conversation. Take a look at his huge ears. Rhinos have excellent hearing. They're able to rotate their ears independently to hone into different sounds. Compare the size of his ears to the size of his eyes. His eyes are very small compared to his body size. Rhinos do not have the best eyesight. We're able to look at the different features these animals have to tell a lot about them. Everything they have serves a purpose. We have entered Central Africa. We've made our way into a brand new exhibit. As we make our way up the hill, you're going to see a bright orange animal on the left. Those are Uganda cob. This is another kind of African antelope. A little bit further up the hill, you're going to see roan antelope. Now you can tell this is an antelope and not a deer because you are looking at horns, not antlers. Horns will end in just 1 point. They don't branch out like antlers do. And they also don't shed. Those horns are going to stay put. This is one of my favorite parts of the tour because of the view. This is easily one of the best views of the safari park. You can see all the land we've covered so far on tour today. Lots to see out here. Of course, the view on the right is also amazing. If you look beyond the pond, you'll see some dark orange, almost red animals. Those are East African bongo. That darker orange is going to blend in with a darker green environment. They also have white stripes, which tell us that they are a forest species. Those stripes will break apart their outline and also blend into the vertical beams of light through the trees. The stripes is another indicator that you are not looking at a deer. Deer do not have stripes. When it comes to seeing deer, on this tour you're more likely to see a native deer than an African one. The area on the right is part of a 900-acre reserve for coastal sage scrub. We do have a lot of native deer up here. You may see them wandering the park as well if you do. Those are California mule deer. They're here because we do have a lot of land. They're also here because they can enjoy some of the leftovers we feed our collection of animals. Most of the animals inside these exhibits are herbivores, so they are fed a lot of hay, but are also free to graze on all the grass. So we do have Lembe enjoying some hay over here on the left-hand side. This is another East African black rhino. She is Eric's mom, the rhino we saw just a moment ago. For the most part, they are a solitary species. Because of their large size and horns, rhinos don't have any natural predators. And that's why they don't need to rely on living in a herd as much as the other animals out here do. Spend a lot of time inside the exhibit. They'll refill the feeders with food throughout the day. They of course clean the exhibit all throughout the day as well. They also count the animals every single morning. They know there's a certain number of each species. That's their way of getting a visual and making sure all these animals look healthy. This exhibit is home to about 180 animals. They have 60 acres to roam. It averages to about 3 animals per acre. They don't spread out evenly within the exhibit. They stick together as a group. So we see a lot of vacant areas like this section, and then a lot of the animals crammed into one spot. I think most of the animals are going to be around the corner. Looks like we'll get a good view of Patterson's eland. Yep, these are Patterson's eland on the left-hand side, the large tan species. These are the largest antelopes found in Africa, which is why they have several adaptations to aid with thermoregulation, keeping themselves cool. You'll notice they don't have a shaggy coat like the waterbuck. Instead, their coat is very sleek. That is going to limit insulation and keep them cool on hot days. They also have skin hanging down from their necks. That is called a dewlap. This is going to work similar to a heat radiator. That's going to increase their surface area and help with heat loss. I mentioned earlier that white and black are very visible colors. You might see some black markings on this animal if you look behind the 2 front legs. Those 2 black bands are called a follow me mark. That marking is what keeps this herd together. It's very similar to when you go to a theme park and everyone in your party wears the same color t-shirt. All the animals out here have their own unique follow me marks. So as we make our way through some more animals, you can look at their legs or tails to find those different markings. Everything these animals have serves a purpose. They are all well adapted for survival. Extinction happens when animals aren't able to adapt quickly enough to a changing environment. Currently, many environments are changing rapidly, and a lot of animals aren't able to adapt in time. We are seeing more and more species becoming endangered and some nearing extinction. But the good news is you can help. You can be a hero for wildlife. The changes you make here can affect wildlife in other parts of the world. If you want to help rhinos, one way to do that is by telling others that rhino horn is not necessary. As we round the corner, take a look on the other side of the road. You will find the rescue center once again. This is an animal that could become extinct within 15 years if the rate of poaching continues like it is. Unfortunately, some people believe you can use rhino horn for medicinal purposes, but if you touch your fingernails or touch your hair, you're just touching keratin. That's the same protein found in rhino horn. So really it's not much different than eating your hair or your fingernails. We have made our way into East Africa. The birds closest to us with the yellow feathers on their heads are East African crowned cranes. They are mainly found in their male and female pairs because they will mate for life. These birds can actually stand up to 4 feet tall. Doesn't really look like it from here, but again,